All right, so this, we're going to make it in a 12 quart, so we're going to add 5 quarts of mix, ice cream mix. And Steve hates that term, but it's unfortunately, it's universally accepted.
I like the term blend, but it sounds better. Mix sounds like a powder. But that is the term. It's like every industry. Computer industry has certain terms they use, bits and bytes and mods, and I don't know what they are either. But we do call this mix. It came out of the cow last night at 4 o'clock, was reblended by the dairy, and delivered to you the next morning.
Now, you know that isn't true.
It's close.
So we'll take 5 quarts of mix and put it in the machine. You gotta love him. 5 quarts of mix, right in. Now, I have a habit, and my habit is 2 things. I always have a cloth on the shelf, always. And I always have a bucket under the spout. That's just me. The third thing I have, which in my store, I always have a mat to absorb any spills and better on your feet and stuff like that. But you got to work under trying conditions. So here's 5 quarts of mix. Without spilling a drop. We'll add some vanilla. My rule of thumb on vanilla is 1 ounce per quart. It's not, that's not the procedure in the industry. Most of them use 1 ounce per batch, or 2 ounces per batch. I use 1 ounce per quart. So that would be how many ounces? 5. Good man. Extra credit, huh? 5 ounces of vanilla. And we'll add, we'll take these pralines and we'll give them a quick shot in the Ninja to break them up a little. Just a quick shot.
We're not endorsing blenders, but a Ninja blender, you can get them for about $99. They're very loud, and they work better than any other blender.
When I first opened, I had a 5-quart KitchenAid mixer, and I had a what's the food processor?
Cuisinart.
Cuisinart food processor, and now I have neither. I do have 5 of these, and they don't pay me a penny, but it's a great product.
No, but these little razor sharp blades will cut through everything.
Many times. So we'll add, you saw we ground them up a little bit, quick shot, and then we'll add some whole ones for those lucky few people who get whole ones.
Oh, what am I doing?
So we'll add those in here. What do we have in here so far? Mix and vanilla. Now we'll add pralines. And then we're going to add something that I haven't done before, but we decided to make salted caramel praline ice cream. So we'll add some Torrenti salted caramel. How much we add, I don't know yet. It'll be a taste test.
So watch carefully and write it down.
So let's see how much let's see.
Because Jeff is a little of this and a little of that.
Well, that's true, except that when I'm creating flavors for the store, I do write them down as I go along, because you have to know. So let's see what we got here. We'll add about a little more than half a bottle. We'll see what it tastes like. You know where I'm going with this, right?
So that'd be about 14 ounces. 14 ounces.
Well, I think it's actually a little more.
Now it's going up. Yeah, it's all going to end up in there.
You think so?
Probably.
Okay, let's go for
all
it.
right.
What the hell?
1 bottle of Tyranny syrup. Now
So
you
that
get
makes it
Tyranny-
easy to write it down, right? 1 bottle Tyranny. They're 750 milliliters, just like a liquor bottle.
Now that's on the Emery Thompson 12 quart. So
Right.
your machine, it would be 2 bottles.
Yeah,
Right.
right.
Got
Is
it.
there anything wrong with that?
No.
Okay.
No, sir.
No, sir. All right, let's see if it's good. Now, by the way, this happened in the last batch. What if it's too strong when we taste it now? What do we do? Add more mix, of course. But it's not, of course. Now, this ice cream, what we're going to do, for one reason that you don't have to know, I didn't sleep last night, and I was thinking of different things. And have you seen me do the variegate on these videos, how to make the swirls in it? Mike, is this on?
Some people are brand new.
Well, let's try this. We're going to try something else to make, you know, the swirls, like vanilla fudge. Remember you used to get vanilla fudge ice cream? It had swirls of the fudge going in it. And Breyers was particularly good at this. When you opened the half gallon, it was 2 designs right on top, and it permeated the ice cream. Their production plant figured that out. Anyway, so we want this to look pretty and to have a little caramel. After all, it's, what flavor is this? Salted caramel praline. So let's put some caramel in the extrusion. Extrusion? Okay.
Whose caramel are you using?
I like Lion's caramel.
Where do you get that?
Restaurant Depot. This is Monarch, because they didn't have Lion's. Monarch. Actually, let's see. It's very hard to screw up caramel.
If you wanted to make it today and you didn't have time to wait for that to come, could you use something like Smucker's in the supermarket?
I use Smucker's all the time.
Then you can buy just exactly what you want.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to get the end-all quality from Smucker's. I don't think it's as thick as, I don't know, maybe it is, I don't know.
You say you prefer this over the Smucker's?
Yeah, because Smucker's comes in little jars. I get these in these big cans. It's probably all junk, but my philosophy on ice cream, and I know I'm bucking the trend, a lot of it is going towards all natural, no sugar, lactose free, dairy free. I don't buy any of it, and I'm sorry we're on tape, but to me, ice cream is a frozen treat. It's dessert. It's not a necessity in life. It's an affordable luxury. I want it sweet, I want it flavorful, and I want it yummy. So I don't really, at my store, sugar-free, nah. Dairy-free, nah. Lactose-free, nah. All natural, nah. It's ice cream. Now, for the most part, I do use things that we grew up with. I won't use a can of Oreo glop. I'll go buy Oreos. And I'll buy Snickers bars. And you'll see after lunch we're going to have Payday ice cream. You know the Payday candy bars? And I spent all morning unwrapping all these Payday bars and cutting them up, and they're in the freezer, and we're going to do something with that. So that's what I did. As a matter of fact, the cover of the book, where's the book? Somebody
It's
hold
right
it.
here.
It says, and this is the first thing I ever wrote when I started this business. It says, make incredible ice cream without buying jugs, cans, or jars of flavors or colors. Go supermarketing. And that, in fact, is what I did to start this whole thing. I went supermarketing. When I first teamed up with Steve here, and he was gracious enough to invite me to do a guest spot on his on his show, which was then called Lunch with the President, I got here and this whole, I can say this, right? This whole thing here was filled with precisely that. Jugs, cans, and jars of flavorings, colorings, additives, all that stuff, right?
Yep.
And then over the years, it's disappeared. And now he goes supermarketing too, and it's a great thing. It's anything you see on the shelves, you can make ice cream out of, for better or for worse.
Even avocado ice cream, which is actually very good.
Anything. And that's the joy of this business. When I teach the class, I teach them there are 3 reasons we get into this business. 3 big reasons. Profit, number 1. I don't have to tell you that. The profit in this is silly. Number 2 is art. We get to play and create things. And that's what we've been doing this morning. Some of it fails, some of it succeeds.
I saw that. I saw that.
And so it's profit, art, and to me, the biggest reason to get into the business. What is it? It's fun. This is a fun business. You're not outside digging holes and tarring roofs, and you're not answering to some boss. You're not on a factory line putting things together monotonously. You're having fun. So it's a great business. You can, no, I espouse too much. Okay, we'll give it one more test midway through so that if there is, nice apron, so if there is anything wrong, there won't be an empty cup in the house. And now we have to get ready to do the variegate. Variegate, how would you define that word?
They swirl through the ice cream.
Good way to do it. And we'll use a clear container so that you can see the variegate. This should be fun. I've never done this before. Any questions about this ice cream?
What percentage is the mix you're using?
10% butterfat. It's what I prefer. And because of Steve's machine, you can take that 10% butterfat, which is not a high percentage of butterfat, but by reducing the speed, you can make it even thicker, more towards gelato. Even though gelato is 5 to 8% butterfat, you can make your ice cream thicker and creamier if you want it, by slowing down. Think about it. When Grandma used to make ice cream, she would put it all in the thing, rock salt around the outside, and she would do this. And then you would have to do this if you wanted ice cream. And it was a slow process. All Steve did in his genius was take a machine to do this fast. So now the ice cream, instead of 20 minutes and the kids getting all PO'd, this does it for you. And the rock salt has been replaced by cold coils. What's in those coils?
Environmentally friendly propellant.
Okay,
They make me say that. Cold stuff.
It's getting there. How long should this take? A lot of sugar in it. The more sugar, the longer your ice cream takes to make. That's why when I make adult flavors using alcohol is basically sugar, so it takes longer. My adult flavors might take 15, 16, 17 minutes. And if you just took the bladder and put it in the machine and made vanilla ice cream just from the mix, which you could do, it's just vanilla, that would take maybe 8 minutes.
Krista, do you mind spending a second? You just spoke with the people over at Lockhead Vanilla, and they were telling you about freezing temperatures of ice cream and using more vanilla. Remember that, about If we use Jeff's method, which I do, versus the way I used to do it?
If I remember correctly, vanilla extract has 7 times the effect on freezing as sugar does, or more than sugar, believe it or not, because vanilla extract can have up to 41% alcohol. That's very high, so you can get pretty wasted on a bottle of vanilla extract. I don't do it, but so always try to tame back your vanilla just a little bit. You don't have to do exactly what Jeff does. He does it, I don't, Steve and I don't. So typically some people's rule of thumb is 1 ounce per quart of ice cream mix. If I'm doing a CB 350 and that's 3.5 quarts of mix that I use, I just do 2 ounces of vanilla. And that's more than enough. But if you add a lot of vanilla extract, it's going to take a longer time to freeze. As you saw from the mint extract that Steve used, same concept. He put a little too much and it couldn't freeze. So he had to up the sugar and water ratio.
So you can do it if you want to. You just have to expect a slightly longer freeze time.
Yeah, I would assume. And it's because alcohol doesn't freeze, it suspends. So when you go to make it, it's going to come out a lot thinner, and it's not going to freeze completely solid like you would see when you hand scoop an ice cream. It's going to be a lot softer in texture. And like this will be, it has a lot of sugar in it, so it's going to be softer to scoop.
I just learned the other day how to taste ice cream. What they tell you to do is take the ice cream on a spoon and do it this way, because your taste buds are on top of your tongue, and if you do it this way, no taste buds, very few up on the palate. So they tell you when you're tasting ice cream for a taste, like that. I just found that out. Did you know that?
I didn't know that. It made me laugh though, because who in the audience here remembers Carvel and Tom Carvel? Anybody? Yeah, Tom Carvel had close to 2,000 stores, and he had a gravelly voice, and he had Fudgy the Whale and Moon Pies and all these other things. And he once told me at a trade show, he said, I have my spies, as he called them. We would call them associates. I have my spies, and we send them into the stores, and I tell them to always taste the vanilla. Because if they're cheating on the vanilla, because it was inexpensive, if they're cheating on the vanilla, you can be damn sure they're cheating on the maple walnut, which costs more. So you could always tell when his spies were coming, besides the fact that they couldn't get through the door, they were so wide in the shoulders. It taught me, you know, if you're going to go into a store, taste someone's vanilla.
And that has what to do with how we taste it?
That has to do with you don't taste the mint chip. And I do subscribe for the most part with Jeff's idea about flavoring, because if I hand you a pale pink ice cream and you say that's delicious, what is it? I just failed as an ice cream maker because you don't know it's red raspberry. So flavoring is the most important thing you can do. If you want to put in 1 ounce to a quart like Jeff does of vanilla, of course he does it. He's using my Lockheed vanilla, you know, and he's not paying for it.
I'm not paying for it.
But
at home I use cheapo vanilla.
Yeah, that's right. But other than that, you know, he's not wrong. And keep in mind the most important thing: we can vary the air content, we can vary the fat content, but I've yet to see anybody walk out of a store and say, you know what, that was the best fat content I ever ate. I can't wait to come back tomorrow. Or did you taste that air content? Wow, that's incredible. I'm going to buy some more tomorrow. They eat flavor. That's all they eat is flavor. If it's a great flavor, they don't care how you got there. They just want to know that they want it.
That's precisely what I was talking about. That's why I don't vary from making 100% great ice cream. I don't compromise myself by adding monk fruit instead of sugar or dextrose or any of that. I just don't do it. And if somebody comes in and they want sugar-free ice cream, I say we don't have any, although now we have one flavor. We don't have any, but we certainly have a coffee bar, so you can have a cappuccino. Oh, I don't like caffeine. We have decaf. So between coffee and ice cream, I'm trying to satisfy every single person walking the earth, whatever their tolerance or their allergies or whatever. And I make as much on a coffee as I do on an ice cream. Okay, we are rocking and rolling here. Now I'm going to try this. If it doesn't work, oh well. I'm going to try to pour this in as the ice cream's coming out, but that won't be the end all. That's just the beginning. Then we're going to do a little trickery and get it into the buckets. Pretty soon now. Another 30 seconds. How can it be so precise? Now it would help if you had a spout, you know, but I just squeezed it, so we'll make do.
You know what I just thought of?
Tell me.
You can eat mint chip before you go on a date, and you won't have bad breath the rest of the night.
There you go.
I can still feel the
Especially my
freshiness.
mint chip. You're good for 10 years.
Okay, you think we're ready?
Yep.
All right, we'll give this a shot.
Oops.
Turn sideways so the camera can see if you can. That's too
okay.
hard.
It's a little hard.
We only have
Okay,
both cameras
ready?
going that way.
I'm going to have it come out at a slow speed.
I can also slow the speed down.
No, I'm okay. I'm good.
Right, Mike? Since his back is to you, what he's doing is he's slowly pouring it into the stream of ice cream. He hasn't opened up the stream all the way. He's got it open up about a quarter of the way, just to slow the
Let's
process.
just see if it's going to work. Never mind, I got. Okay, let's see if this is going to work. What we're going to do with this is squoze it and see if we get any of the swirls in it. We are, aren't we?
You sure are. It's beautiful. That's better than the old method.
I don't know. I may like the old method still.
Can you hold the tub up so they can see through it? That's beautiful.
Try it on a little more. The old method was to do this and then give it a fold. And then squeeze it. I guess it's pretty similar. And let's take the rest of it.
There is one other method of doing it, and that is to take a pastry bag and fill
that's
it
hard.
with well, I'm going to it's got a good story though.
Okay.
I'm going to fill the pastry bag with the butterscotch, and I'm going to hold it up against the machine. I'm going to squeeze in my ribbon. The problem is trying to get your hand in there. Our executive chef in the audience will like this. Trying to get your hand into that bag and clean it, it's a horrible mess. And I did it that way for 15 years, and one day an executive chef looked at me, and he's holding the bag up, and the tip is down here, and he looks at me like I'm from the moon. He grabs the tip, turns it upside down, and rolls it up his sleeve, and puts it under the sink to wash it off. And I'm going, why didn't I think of that? Yeah, he's laughing because this is, I mean, it's so simple. I'm in there going like this. So, but a pastry bag does work.
All right, for the
all went
last.
silent.
What?
All went silent.
Yes. You're not used to that?
Jeff, scooping purposes, I notice a difference. You should stick to your old way.
Old way?
Yeah.
That's what we're doing here, the old way.
Why is that, Christy?
Because I'm getting too many big blobs of, what is that, caramel?
As Jerry Seinfeld
Caramel.
would say, not that that's a bad thing. Remember that?
Yes. Everything.
Cracked me up. So this will be the,
Where you just pour it into the tub of mix,
Thank you.
add your butterscotch, and then stir it, and then swirl it out.
caramel.
Caramel.
See, that's interesting. You grew up saying caramel?
Yeah.
I grew up saying caramel.
Oh, okay.
craft caramels. Can you taste this?
No.
Too much?
Well, I don't want to lose my svelte figure.
Well, 1 teaspoon ain't going to do
It
anything.
took a long time to get it off. The older you get, the harder it is. It's terrible.
I'm cheating. I'm 19 pounds down and I'm here, you know.
Oh, these tops, these don't have tops, do they? The clear ones.
Let's taste, shall we?
Any changes you would make to Jeff's caramel? Praline caramel?
Gosh, good job.
Yeah, it's good?
Yes.
Okay.
Question.
Jeff, would it change the recipe if if you had the time and you could put the caramel in your refrigerator and really cool it, make it cold, as far as making the swirl?
I have no idea.
Try it. It won't come out of the jar.
It'd be harder to.
Yeah, it just won't come out of the jar. It's got to be room temperature, or most people even heat it in a double boiler to get it to flow easier. There's even companies, the people who put flavors in cans, which we're not using, who add
have one?
ingredients to it, chemicals, to make it flow even faster. We're going to do questions answered.
Okay, chairs are right up.